This is another Viking battle where I bring a somewhat historical Viking army without any cavalry. And this time I've gone a slightly different route than the previous battle. Now I have 6 slingers, 6 hurlers. Close range skirmish was very much a factor in Viking combat. Bows, spears, slingshot. Even throwing stones, fairly common. So let's see here. Then we of course have my shield wall behind the slingers. Multiple lines of precursors to make any cavalry think twice about engaging head on. Then in reserve I'm going to keep my Nordic axe warriors together with a javelin unit for late game sniping of different units. And I believe I'm up against the Saxons this time. So this could be an axe spamfest, axe and horse lord spamfest. In which case, I am in deep shit because I have no cavalry on my own. So hopefully I'm going to be able to make my slingers slow down the enemy cavalry and eat the charge, so I'm able to damage the cavalry with precursors. And slowed down Nordic horse lords are much easier to deal with than your standard speed horse lords. So okay, we have heroic cavalry, 3 of those on each flank. Then we have, or not on each flank, we have 2 Saxon lancers here. Then we have warhounds. Let's see, Nordic raid leader, axe warband, Gesitas. Gesitas are going to be difficult to deal with. For if I can tie them down, sure, they will die fairly easily to a shield wall unit. But if I engage the Gesitas while they are in shield wall, I can say goodbye to just about every unit I have here. So I have to avoid that at all costs. Now let's just use the thrall skirmishers on this flank instead, so I can screen away the heroic cavalry, or at least do some damage to it. Here we have Nordic axe warband, Nordic raid leader. There are no skirmishers for me to contend with, so I can just start screening on each flank with my hurlers. Use these guys as a charge blocker in the center. Let's just try to focus fire on these guys for a bit. Send out a unit of elite Nordics to go with them. Hopefully the dogs will start to come soon. Should be in range. Range achieved. Now they are slowed down, taking damage. Use the warriors to screen away here. I haven't actually been able to fire yet, so I'll just move these units off to the side. Haven't killed any Saxon lancers either. Let's just have an axe unit over here. Because I'm obviously not going to... I'm going to try to snipe the enemy general. The Nordic raid leader. Just send these guys behind here. Looks like he wants me to engage frontally, so he can engage me with cavalry in the rear, which is not the worst idea. Now I'm going to be able to get some good shots off here, I think. Unless they do the endless reforming thing. The dogs came, so we can just pull back behind my own men. And pull back here. Give an attack order on the dogs, so I don't lose too many slingers. I'm not in range here, so just prepare defense. Yeah, looks like the dogs are mostly dead. Now I can fire on the enemy general. That cavalry to my rear is worrying. Now let's just put the Nordics here in shield wall. I hear cavalry. Well, now I can give the enemy general a volley or two. This should be glorious. Yep, good volley. Just protect my rear with these slingers. Bait precursors with my slingers there. Here comes the cavalry. Just try to slow down as many of these units as I can. Do a little switch here. Send in some axes. Like so. These guys are... Well, now I can take them out of loose formation, really. So I get better shots off on the enemy general. Just precursors against those lancers and they got wrecked. Yeah, that cavalry charge into slingers and disorganized infantry is very dangerous. Looks like I'm still able to fire on the general here. That's good. Just focus on that unit, please. Finally sees that I'm sniping his general and so he's pushing in his spears. Yep, that cavalry is gone. This cavalry is gone. Now I can just keep pushing them. I'll save my axes for later. These cavalry units are too far away from the battle to be of much use anyway. So now I'll start moving up, but I will want him to engage me in shield wall rather than the opposite. Rather than me engaging him in shield wall. So I'll just shield wall here. Shield wall here as well. Use your precursors on the Gesitas instead. Then pull out. Okay, start flanking around.
Our men run from the enemy. This is shameful.
So this guy wants a piece of my warriors, it seems. Using your general like this is a bit dangerous because of the precursors. So I can Precursor him and just pull away. Then I can do a switch with my Elite Nordics, put these guys in shield wall. Yeah, the Nordic raid leader is dead. Now I can start working on the Gesitas a bit. Let's just send in these guys as well against the Nordic raid leader. Send in these guys against the cavalry. Axis will go up the center. The enemy general is wavering, which is good. These cavalry units will be gone soon. That's the enemy general should be dead. These units won't survive for much longer. Precursors on the Gesitas, unshielded side. But the problem with Gesitas is I can just illustrate this by sending in some axe warriors. They just take forever to die. Yeah, those cavalry units are gone. So charge the Gesitas in the flanks. Focus on the axis here. And even though I flanked those Gesitas, you can see that they're still holding out, and frontally I barely made a dent in the Gesitas. So the best way to deal with Gesitas is of course cavalry, of which I have none. Nordic Spearmasters, no match for chosen warriors. Let's flank the Nordic Axe Warband while firing at them.
Our men have given up and are running for their lives.
Dogs incoming.
They will bleed for us. No. The enemy are losing their advantage.
Here I actually managed to kill a Gesitas with my Nordic Axe Warriors by flanking them, so that's good. Now, these dogs are annoying now because I didn't give attack orders on them. Let's charge the Gesitas here. Charge them here. Then send in my Viking captain once the Gesitas are dealt with. This ends up in a glorious melee. Let's just send in the... completely surround these Gesitas so they will be able to die for their lord or their jarl. Yep. Now the bonus on my double gold Viking captain should start to make itself felt. He's getting kills. So even the mighty Gesitas are falling now, and that's the end of the battle. Another Viking no-cavalry army. And yeah, this cavalry was once again wasn't managed too well, and just the pure infantry spam overwhelmed the enemy. But I think his idea wasn't a bad one, that using the Gesitas to sort of hold the line and then to bring in the cavalry from the rear, not the worst idea. And he even got some nice kills on his dogs because I didn't counter them properly. But I think it could have worked had he spread his Gesitas out more and had he not brought his Nordic Spearmasters, because they are a major liability. Had he brought, for example, more Nordic Axe Warriors, I think that would have made the difference in this battle. Strength and honor.